What's the tempo?
1, 2,
1, 2. Overtime.
You got my heart working overtime. I let you in, let you cross the line. You want my trust, boy, you have to try. Give all your love if you wanna keep me. You got my heart working overtime. I let you in, let you cross the line. You want my trust, boy, you have to try. Give all your love if you wanna keep me. You want my heart if you want my trust. Give my heart, give
Good evening, my friends. Happy Monday, if there is such a thing. It's great to see you guys. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing well. I'm as well as one could be, considering the last 24 hours. So yeah. I'll give you guys a little recap of how things went. As far as just my trip home. So, ended the stream totally on a full tank of 2 bottles of wine. 3 bottles I black out. Okay. I know my wine tolerance. Okay. 3 bottles I black out. Didn't black out this time, but definitely intoxicated. And so by the time I ended the stream, I was like, all right, well, going to sleep would be really stupid if I did that right now. Because I ended the stream at like 2:30 or something like that. It was like 2:30 in the morning when I ended the stream. It was like a 4-hour stream, I think, something like that. Definitely over 4 hours. And I and so I wrapped up the stream and packed up all my shit. And I just got an Uber to the airport. Fuck it. So I got to the airport a little early. Because you're supposed to check in like 2 hours before your flight anyway. Flight left at 6 a.m. By the time I got to the airport, it was like, I want to say almost 4 already. Because yes, I took my time. I took my time getting everything done because I had to be very meticulous. I was not operating with all of my wits about me. So I got all my shit together. I went to the airport. I figured best thing to do was just get straight to my gate. But did I fix the cabinet? Yeah, I fixed the cabinet handles in front of all of you. But yeah, I figured the best thing to do is just get to my gate. And yeah, I got to my gate and then just got on the plane and I slept. I didn't even I checked it. I checked my bags. I didn't even pull out my headphones when I got on the plane. I didn't pull out my laptop. I didn't pull out my Batman graphic novel that I've been meaning to read that I bought in fucking Chicago, that I bought for the sole purpose of reading on a flight. And I still haven't read this thing. And I just I had a connecting flight in LaGuardia. I had a nice I had about an hour window, little over an hour window before my next flight boarded. So I found my next gate in LaGuardia and the bar closest to it, and then I ordered the most overpriced Bloody Mary that I've ever had in my entire life. And I drank that. I think I was live on Instagram. I think. But yeah, I the only thing I was worried about, because I was good on time, I was just worried about tripping and falling or something, and then someone smelling my breath and being like, he's had too much to drink and he can't get on the plane, and me being like, I'm fine, I can fucking just let me on the fucking plane. I got a dog and a cat that needs me. But everything was cool. I managed to managed to get on the plane after I had this this extremely expensive and mediocre Bloody Mary. Yeah, like the thing just screamed Plevin. I was just like, Jesus, this must be a Plevin Bloody Mary. This must be what they're like. Really, like a whole lot of buildup and fucking nothing. So and then I slept on that flight. That flight was even longer. And I slept through that whole fucking flight. I did not, again, pull out my headphones, didn't listen to music, didn't nothing. I just fucking went to sleep. And I bought a neck pillow at the airport on the way there, and I used it. And I gotta say, now I have this fucking neck pillow that I don't think I'm ever gonna fucking use, because I used it and it really didn't do anything. Like I didn't feel any more comfortable. As a matter of fact, it was more of a burden, and it was more shit to carry. And it contributed to me having to get another suitcase while I was there. So, but yeah, the neck pillow thing is the biggest fucking scam that's ever fucking been perpetrated on the American traveler, or on any traveler for that matter. God, I mean, we are some stupid motherfuckers to fall for some of the shit that they put out there for us to buy. Because I was like, okay, now I just look like a fucking idiot, and I'm not any more comfortable. But I gave it a chance on the flight there, and then yeah, this time around I was like, I had it in my bag, and I was like, I'm not even fucking, dude. I slept like a fucking baby, dude. It slept so good. All I knew is I would wake up for just a second when the plane would accelerate because it was about to take off, and I'd go, oh, we're taking off. Went to sleep, and then woke up with the flight attendant lady. Excuse me, want something to drink? Yeah. Vodka cranberry. Sounds great. Okay, thanks. Almost slept through her trying to hand it to me. Drank the drink, went back to sleep, woke up in Knoxville. So, and then I got this Uber. Nice gentleman named Edward. But the thing about Edward was, Edward didn't know how to shut the fuck up. And Edward just kept fucking talking. Like, from the moment, first of all, he pulls up, wrong car. I'm looking for a Durango, pulls up in some fucking Chevy POS that I was like, okay, whatever the fuck this is. But okay. And I was smoking a cigarette. He's like, you could smoke in the car. And even still, even when people let me smoke in their car, I find that crazy bizarre, because I hate that I smoke, and I hate the way it makes me smell, and it's whatever, but I smoke, I haven't had the strength to quit yet, but it still felt weird. But Edward wouldn't shut the fuck up the entire time, from the moment that he was like, hey, I'm your driver, to the moment that, well, he did finally shut the fuck up, like halfway to get to my house. And then I fell asleep again. But before that, he was talking about things that he had absolutely no interest in a response from me. He was just talking. And it was about things that I don't know anything about. He was talking about fishing. He was talking about, It was like really like it was almost like somebody handed him a list of things that I couldn't give any more of a fuck about or any less of a fuck about. Like somebody was like, here's the things that Will doesn't give a fuck about, like concentrated. The things that he gives the least bit of a fuck about on this planet. Here's a list of those things. Now talk his ear off about it when he's dead fucking tired and hungover. Please do that, Edward. That's what happened. That's what happened. So, but Edward was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. It's just that Edward doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. But he's a nice guy. Like, and his girlfriend called on the Uber ride and shit, or his wife, who the fuck ever it was, and he had it on the fucking speakers, the fucking car, you know. Oh, I've got this nice gentleman that I'm taking a ride from the airport to, and then that should be in about I don't know, about 9 more minutes, baby. I love you. I love you too. I love you. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. You know, I'm really great that you guys, I think it's really great that you guys love each other, dude. I'm really happy that you guys love each other. But what, I mean, shut the fuck up. Please. Shut the fuck up. It was a lot, dude.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
I am a smoker. Exactly. Okay. Thank you, Bonnie Coy. Yeah, me too. I hate that I'm a smoker. One good thing, I don't know what happens, dude. Like, somehow they don't seem to check for these, and I always forget that I have them. This is a fucking vape that I got at a dispensary in Boston, and I got on 2 fucking planes with it. And got it back to Tennessee, where this is not legal, but fucking America, bro. Love it. But yeah, somehow or another, they don't check for those. I don't know why. And I didn't deliberately try to sneak it on. It's just, it happened. And I was like, oh shit. It's the second fucking one, dude. Second time I come back from Boston and I have these things on me. Okay. Yeah, they don't give a fuck about the vapes. So that's great. And yeah. What's up, Olivia? I see Olivia in here. Cherry's in the chat. She's in rare form, y'all. But she's here. And Olivia Olivia was on Calling All Beings, and he was on there. She was on there with Nan and Brother Council and Beatrice. Good stuff. I see Esty in the chat too. What's up? Look at this. Why are you so mean? What is your problem today? Jesus, I'm the one who should be in a bad mood. I don't know why you're in such a bad mood. But yeah, man. We had I had a really good time in Boston. I had a great time in Boston. Dude, like, I got to meet Grant, which is just fucking great. I got to sit down and have lunch with Peter Murphy, which was also fucking great. Bonnie Coy, thank you so much. I really should be a non-smoker. I hate it. Yeah, everybody should be a non-smoker because smoking is stupid. It is literally the dumbest fucking habit that I have ever engaged in my entire life. Nobody picks up smoking because it's in any way beneficial. Like, it doesn't taste good. It doesn't smell good. It just, for some reason, at some point in time, you looked cool doing it and it became addictive. It just happened to be something that for some reason in society made you look cool, and it turns out that it's very addictive. Megan Johnson, thank you so much. Love you, Cherry. Yes, we all love Cherry. And Maria Angelo, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's the stupidest fucking, like, I can honestly say that I started smoking when I was in high school, and I thought and I hated doing it, and I kept forcing myself to create this habit because I felt that it somehow helped me fit in with the social circle that I was in. Incredibly stupid. Incredibly stupid. No other reason. Anybody who fucking sits there, like, I love the college people who are like, "Oh, it just I picked up smoking because it helped me, deal with the stress of my tests and exams and the studies." And no, you didn't, dude. You fucking started smoking because some fucking skank let you think that you were going to get into her pants if you were somehow like her because she smoked. And I promise you, she started smoking for the same stupid reasons or an even dumber one. Stop it. Bonnie Coy, thank you again. Hope to see you in Boston. Smoking sucks. It does. Kim, thank you so much. You didn't take Cherry to Boston, so she is pissed. Cherry, that would prove extremely difficult to take Cherry to Boston from where I am. But no, I don't think that. Cherry's just pissed because Cherry's always pissed. That's all. Well, it wasn't even peer pressure. Like, the funniest thing about that was, like, my friends who I was trying to impress were like, "Why are you doing that? Don't do that. This is fucking stupid." Even then, Maria Angela, thank you so much. Will, I also was a chain smoker. I started taking Chantix, and I only smoked 2 to 3 cigarettes a day. So now you're addicted to Chantix and cigarettes. That's great to see. Like, I love to see progress. Well done. Much love to Maria Angelo for picking up a second addiction related to her smoking. Good job, Maria. We love you. Well done. Well done. Yeah. Any type of tobacco habit is just the stupidest fucking habit ever. Like, it's not beneficial in any way at all. It's not beneficial to your health at all. It's the stupidest fucking thing to do. Erica Madden, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Nelson Calderón, jefe, ¿qué pasa? Puerto Rico en la casa pa encima. Yes. Boricua in the house. I love it. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. So I have a surprise for you guys. I have a special guest. 2 special guests, actually. And go ahead and make them feel very welcome. Mr. Alan Jackson and Karen Reed, people. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that was a fucking lie. Sorry. I was absolutely fucking lying. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh. I'm in a silly mood.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare
Edward the Uber driver, you win handle of the day. Edward the Uber driver. Good. And that's how Chantix works. It doesn't make you quit cold turkey. Man, that's smart. It's awesome. A medication that says. Now you're still going to smoke when you take this medication that's supposed to make you quit smoking. You're still going to smoke, but you got to take the medication. Make sure you buy it. What are you saying here, SD? I don't care who I face. I have the truth. I have the best attorneys. Do your worst, Karen Reed. Love that shit. Love that shit. Absolutely. Now, so we're just going to go over some stuff that's been going on throughout the day. Let's just start with hold on.
And we begin this half hour here on NBC Boston with the case of a former Stoughton police officer accused of killing Sandra Birchmore.
Yeah, the case is now moving one step closer to going to trial. Our NBC 10's Mary Marcos has the very latest developments from outside a federal court, as well as new reaction from a relative.
It's been a long time coming, and I hope that Sandra finally gets justice.
The case of Sandra Birchmore is one step closer to trial, and relatives hope that means one step closer to closure.
I define justice as seeing Matthew go behind bars for the rest of his life.
Matthew Farwell is accused of killing the pregnant 23-year-old in February of 2021, staging it to look like a suicide.
We've been waiting, Barbara's been waiting for four years now. The anniversary of her murder was just the first.
The pair met when Birchmore joined the Stoughton Police Department's Explorer program. Melissa Mizzy Berry runs the Justice for Sandra Birchmore Facebook page.
Yeah.
We've been waiting months. He was arrested on August 28th, and we've been waiting and waiting for just to get into court.
The day he was arrested was probably one of the best days of my life.
Farwell's lawyers declined to comment Monday. Court documents show he allegedly groomed Birchmore, then started sexually abusing her when she was 15 years old.
Being a predator, he wasn't going to stop. And I'm for sure he would probably have gone after someone else.
Prosecutors and the defense are still working on discovery for the case. A judge adopted a set of expert witness disclosures in federal court Monday.
We're just happy that it's finally starting to happen. And hopefully, like Barb said, hopefully we can have a trial this year.
Now, Farwell was not in court today. His next hearing is set for April 15th, and the judge asked both parties to come up with a tentative trial date by then. Reporting in Boston, Mary Marcos, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, guys, let's turn.
Oh, shit. Get out of there. That's gonna fucking hold on. Thank you, Bonnie Coy. Appreciate you. Enjoy that butt. So the Sandra Birchmore thing is in pretrial phases right now. We're just gonna have to keep up with updates on that, on the Matthew Farwell trial that'll take place. It is federal, so you know, there won't be any cameras in there. So we won't be able to stream it, but we will keep updates on it. And Mizzy, big shout out to Mizzy. She's amazing. And I'm proud to call her a friend of the channel, to say the least. I've met so many inspiring people covering this, and I just can't ever have the words to properly express my gratitude for that. And then you got this shitbag who he had his little hearing today.
Well, tonight we're waiting to hear what will happen to State Police Trooper Michael Proctor, who was the lead investigator in the Karen Reed case.
Now, he appeared before a disciplinary board for a second day of testimony today. WBZ's Louisa Mueller is live in Framingham. Louisa, any indication when the board's going to make its decision?
Well, Lisa, David, we've had 2 full days. No word yet on whether or not there'll be a third. What we do know is that there's no reason for the trial board to rush this at all. They can weigh the evidence, make a determination, then they write a report, which is not public, by the way. Then they have to give that to the colonel, who has the ultimate sign-off.
She's a whack job.
Trooper Michael Proctor's very public reading of his texts before the Karen Reed trial led to
Very
his
public.
own private trial before his state police superiors. And now his fate rests in their hands.
Yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though.
Proctor has been on paid administrative leave since last July. He's facing these allegations of misconduct, writing inappropriate texts on his personal phone about Karen Reed while he was the chief investigator of John O'Keefe's murder, and revealing investigative information to family and friends, plus drinking, then driving a state police cruiser. This stems from testimony that revealed he went out drinking with the brother of Canton police officer Brian Albert.
You think termination would be an appropriate outcome?
There's a lot of factors that Colonel Noble has to weigh. I would think that termination would be in line with a proper disciplinary action.
Former State Trooper Todd McGee says that firing Proctor may be an appropriate outcome.
Yeah, for sure. I have to agree with that. Firing Michael Proctor would be an appropriate outcome for the text message, the lack of professionalism, to say the least, to put it mildly, as far as those text messages go. But Michael Proctor, in my opinion, belongs in fucking jail. Not for those text messages, but for his part in covering up the murder of Boston police officer John O'Keefe, robbing Karen Reed of her rights, framing and railroading her, and putting her through the sham, and her family through what he's put her through, and his part in what they've been through for the last 3 years. Michael Proctor, in my opinion, absolutely belongs in fucking jail.
But he doesn't expect a decision to come right away, as the brand new colonel of the state police considers not only Proctor's discipline, but the message it sends.
Colonel Noble, I believe, also is addressing issues that were given to him as a mandate by the governor to clean up the department.
Regardless of whether he stays a trooper, legal analyst Jennifer Roman says prosecutors are already distancing themselves from Proctor. In addition to the John O'Keefe murder investigation, Proctor investigated the killing of Cohasset woman Anna Walsh, for which her husband Brian is charged with first-degree murder.
They came out months ago saying they weren't planning
with first-degree.
Now, you all know I'm not a firm believer in what's been referred to in this circle as guilty face. But dude, just drink that in. If there's such a thing as guilty face, quote unquote, that dude's fucking got it. If there's such a thing.
Murder.
They came out months ago saying they weren't planning on calling him as part of their case in chief.
Now, if fired, Proctor could appeal to the Civil Service Commission, and any determination about his pension, that wouldn't be made by state police. That would be made by the state retirement board. Live in Framingham, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
Louisa, thank you.
Yeah, you guys got to understand, like, that, like, it doesn't work like, where, you work at a fucking factory or a fucking McDonald's and the supervisor calls you into their office and is like, I'm gonna have to give you your walking papers. That doesn't happen like that. Not when it comes to cops, not when there's unions and shit. There's all this fucking red tape, all this, a bunch of bureaucratic bullshit that they got to go through. They can't just outright just be like, listen, it's been a good run, but we're gonna have to let you go. Badge and gun, please. That's not how that fucking works. They gotta go through all this bullshit. And what's funny is I'm glad, I'm glad that, like, and this is if he gets fired, because you would think that he would get fired, but I just I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Massachusetts State Police these days. But if he were to get fired, I'm glad that there's this long process of bullshit that he has to go through. Because we're looking at it like, oh, look at what we have to go through. We have to wait. Why aren't we getting answers? We want this to just go on. Fuck all that, man. Let that motherfucker sweat. I got time. I'm good. Y'all ain't good? I'm good. Let that motherfucker sweat. Let that motherfucker keep having to fucking wake up, find the right suit, go over how he's going to fucking lie in his fucking head over and over and over again in front of the fucking mirror. Every time he's got to go sit in front of a fucking board to beg for his fucking job. So, I mean, right. I agree with you totally, Olivia, but I mean, I'm glad. And now that's if he gets fired. If some bullshit happens where they're just like, nah, we think he did all right. We're gonna let you off with a warning and let you keep investigating murders. Yeah, I'm gonna be real shocked if that happens, but for some reason I won't be surprised. But if the outcome is that he gets fired, then I'm glad that he's going through all of this bullshit. Olivia Nile, I don't know if it's that cut and dry. You know what I mean? You're saying that the fact that it's this hard for the MSP to decide whether he should be terminated for his horrendous misconduct tells you just how the MSP standards are. I agree with you on that. The thing is that I think that just because of the way that things are set up, the way people are positioned, the way that there's just a process because of union shit, so they have to just go through all of this shit. Otherwise, they're violating his rights in some way or something. And so whatever. I think that's all that is. I think it's just the way the process works. Even though it is a fucking no-brainer that the guy should just be fucking fired. It is absolutely a no-brainer that this man should not be going around with a badge and a gun in the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's fucking crazy. Now, Jared Scott is saying it's due process so that he loses his pension too. Oh, totally. Right. He's the lead investigator into the murder of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. He's the lead investigator, and he did absolutely nothing right. And the contrast from what he did in the Anna Walsh investigation is mind-blowing. It's insane. It shows he knows exactly what to do. It proves that it's not negligence. It proves he knows better. Let's see what this one's saying about it now.
Will be back in court March 13th after he spent the day trying to save his job. This comes months after the trial of Karen Reed revealed his controversial conduct. NBC 10's Eli Rosenberg is at State Police headquarters in Framingham with more.
For a second day, Mass State Trooper Michael Proctor doing what he could to save the job he's had for the
This guy's voice kills me, dude. For the second day
last decade.
Call the call, Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand.
After Proctor's conduct during the Karen Reed investigation and trial went public. Now a state police trial board weighing if Proctor should be terminated.
This is an administrative process, unlike what you would see inside of a court of law. This is an administrative process that the department goes through.
Proctor, the lead investigator into the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe, who died back in January 2022. After Reed was charged in connection with O'Keefe's death, texts Proctor sent during the investigation came out at trial.
What's different about this particular scenario with
is that a real guy or is that AI? Like, what the fuck is going on there?
Proctor is he's testified to a lot of these allegations in the court of law.
Trooper Proctor has been suspended without pay since July.
Yes, it does refresh my memory.
You know what would be fucking awesome if like Microdots did a video with that guy's voice narrating that shit instead of like the Ewan McGregor setting that he's got on there. Oh my god, that would be so good.
And during the trial, Proctor said his comments were, quote, unprofessional and regrettable. Now this trial board weighing if they should also cost Proctor his job.
I could name hundreds of troopers that do the right thing each and every day, would never find themselves in this type of jeopardy. But nonetheless, here we are with Trooper Proctor.
So once all of this does wrap up, the trial board is going to create a report, send that to the head of Mass State Police to decide. No timeline for that. I did mention right there, Proctor, the lead investigator, and Karen Reed.
It is a real guy.
First trial, her second trial is slated to start in less.
But that might just be an internet thing. But why isn't his mouth moving in sync with the sound, dude? Like, I think they just got some guy to lip sync some AI voice, bro.
Then 2 months. In Framingham, Eli Rosenberg, NBC 10.
In Framingham, Eli Rosenberg,
Austin.
Oh my god.
Thanks, guys. Listen, I don't want to brag or
I'm gonna get a ding for that. Me and Oprah are making the same money tonight. I miss Norm Macdonald so much. So this part I did not go over yesterday. So I want to watch this. I have not watched this yet.
More now from Boston.
Yeah, this is the third part, and I'm gonna rewatch the other stuff too because yeah, I was pretty inebriated last night.
25's one-on-one interview with Karen Reed. We've known about a federal probe tied to Reed's allegations of a police cover-up in this case for years.
Feds turned over thousands of pages of evidence to both sides before the first trial. And just last week, new U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts, Leah Foley, would not say where the investigation stands.
Here again is Ted Daniel with that layer to this case.
I picture every day that they're working on framing me.
It's no secret. Karen Reed believes she's being railroaded.
That's an interesting statement by her right there. I picture every day that they're working on framing me. Now, some might think that that's paranoid. Some might be like, oh my God. But here's the thing is with all of the facts that we have on this case, Karen Reed would be, to say the least, naive to not think that way. She has no other choice but to think that way. She has to think that way in order to be one step ahead of them. In order to beat them at this chess game, she has to assume that they are doing the worst. They are behind the scenes plotting the worst fucking shit that they can. Jen Doggos, thank you so much. Member for 10 months. Hey, love you, Will, from Dorchester, Massachusetts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Right. Absolutely, Olivia. 100%. It's reflected in every subsequent move they make and every filing they file. Clearly, they don't have a case. They're trying to block her from having her defense. They're trying to disarm her so that they can attack her with bullshit, with nothing substantial. Thank you, Jen, so much. I appreciate you.
Railroaded, and critical aspects of her defense have come gift wrapped from the feds.
All accounts, he didn't do anything wrong. She's a whack job.
State Trooper Michael Proctor's personal text messages.
You don't hear reporters talk like this about this case. This is so refreshing. Hearing a mainstream media reporter say things like having a defense gift wrapped by the feds. This is what nobody's talking about. This is so vital to talk about. It's so important. The federal involvement in this case is something that everybody is like, Bev is trying to sweep it under the rug, and all of mainstream media seems to have been trying to sweep it under the rug. Make it not, paint it as though it's not a very important aspect of this. It's an extremely important detail in this case because this evidence that the feds have provided with Karen Reed's defense and with the prosecution, they shared the same information with them. But the thing is this stuff is resulting. These are the results that the feds have in investigating Michael Morrissey and how the umbrella of his authority and everything under it conducted this investigation. This is huge. The fact that it's not being talked about is one of the biggest things that have been gaslighting all of us this entire time. Those of us who have been standing steadfast going, no, fuck you, Karen Reed is innocent. You're not going to pull that shit on me. I know what the fuck my eyes are telling me. I'm not crazy. Stop it. So you have now mainstream media is finally talking about this. This is a massive, massive turn in how the public is going to view this if this picks up. If Ted Daniel sets a trend and his numbers start rivaling because he is telling the full story, other news media, then those news media conglomerates are going to pick this up and start talking about it too. Because at the end of the day, they got to make money. At the end of the day, they gotta meet their responsibilities and their obligations to their sponsors. That's just how it works. So, if hopefully, because this is the most amazing thing. This is something that Turtle Boy and I have talked about, that it does not make sense. It makes zero sense right now. Like, there's something seriously wrong with the fact that mainstream media is avoiding telling the entire story. And the entire story, now, if mainstream media is just cherry picking bits and pieces because they think these things will come off as more dramatic, well, then they're failing, because the truth is way more dramatic than what they're putting out there. The truth is intensely more dramatic. The entire story, you are sitting on one of the craziest fucking things that you'll ever see happen in a court of law. And for some reason, you're avoiding talking about it. It's being played down, the federal involvement. It's only slightly mentioned. So Ted Daniel, talking about how this evidence was gift wrapped and making it a point, has this whole 2 minute and some odd second segment here asking Karen Reed and Alan Jackson about the federal involvement. And what do we expect from it? Because this is the stuff that Court TV's been avoiding talking about. But this is what we all need to be talking about. How is it not massive, massive, massive news when talking about this case? How is it not something that is constantly mentioned, that Michael Morrissey is under federal investigation, that the district attorney of Norfolk County that's prosecuting this case and so many other cases right now, justice lies in, it's hanging on a thread because of the fact that the district attorney who's prosecuting these cases is under federal investigation for corruption. This is huge. This is a major cancer in the justice system in Norfolk County. And it's not being talked about. It's not being addressed. Cat Randall, member for 3 months. Excuse me. Sorry. Tomorrow, February 12th, is a full moon, aka the snow moon. Okay, thank you for that, Cat Randall. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is the most bizarre shit. That's been the most mind-boggling aspect of this entire thing this whole time, is the fact that the world isn't screaming about this. That in the climate, the political climate that we have right now, that we're in right now, where freedom of speech is our freedom of speech is it's an issue. It's in danger. The issue of it being in danger is something that is the buzz. It's trending everywhere. And here we have this case out of the birthplace of our nation, pretty much. And there is blatant corruption taking place. And that there are so many cases that Michael Morrissey's office is prosecuting right now, and he's under federal investigation for corruption in how he handled one case, at least one case. That means guilty people could walk. I mean, this is the craziest shit in the world. So it seems like Ted Daniel is finally like, dude, fuck this. We're going to sit down. Karen Reed, and I'm doing it. Fuck this. Like, I can't, you know, like he was like, I hear this guy, the Glairer, going, fucking, why isn't anybody talking about this? And I blew up. I couldn't fucking take it. I couldn't take it anymore. And the Glairer compelled me, Ted Daniel, to finally speak up and cover the right stuff. I couldn't. No, totally kidding. No, I'm just glad that somebody's finally fucking doing this. The most frustrating thing, like when I was on Twitter, Sue O'Connell, she was so frustrating because she was just actively avoiding. She was engaging with people, and people were confronting her with these questions, and she was actively avoiding them. Not because she's stupid, but because she's an asshole.
Butt dials and discarded phones. It's no secret. Karen Reed believes she's being railroaded, and critical aspects of her defense have come gift-wrapped from the feds.
All accounts, he didn't do anything wrong. She's a whack job.
I love it.
State Trooper Michael Proctor's personal text messages, butt dials, and discarded phones.
Did you pull the SIM card out of your phone, Mr. Higgins?
Independent scientists who testified that John O'Keefe's injuries were not.
Again, nobody wants to talk about ARCA. Ted Daniels out there fucking just stepping on his own dick. Like, Ted Daniels out there, dick swinging. He's stepping on that motherfucker, not giving a fuck. Finally talking about these ARCA experts because nobody wants to acknowledge the ARCA testimony. So bizarre. To me, that's it. That's it. That's it. Independent federal investigation determined that Karen Reed didn't even touch John O'Keefe with her car.
Not from an SUV.
The theory of the case is a car accident. The federal materials included a report that said there wasn't a car accident. That's 95% of the case.
Dude. The feds devoted a lot of time and resources investigating what happened here. We are now years removed from that, and there's been no action taken.
Well, I don't know that there's been no action taken.
But no indictments?
No indictments.
25 investigators learned the Norfolk DA's office has communicated with the U.S. Attorney's Office about this case since Reed's mistrial in July. The DA's office denied.
Ted, listen, you're giving me Bettero vibes right now, bro. I got to tell you, I'm a straight man, but you just made it move a little bit. You just made it move a little bit, Ted. Just saying.
Our public records requests for any emails or letters, citing in part a federal protective order. Do you expect that having a new head of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston will change anything?
But I can say that I was very, very happy with what they did and what they disclosed, trying to get the truth out previously, and I hope Ms. Foley does the same thing. I'm looking forward to her continuing the investigation. I hope she does.
As for Michael Proctor, he's scheduled to have a disciplinary hearing tomorrow to determine his future with state police. Karen Reed has a lot to say about Proctor. Ted will join the Boston 25 Morning News team tomorrow at 7:15 with that portion of his interview.
All right. There's Peter's live stream. I might go over some of that. I'd like to see what his thoughts are. And then Brother Counsel went over it too. And here's the. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You drink that water, buddy.
Well, as we have mentioned this morning, Massachusetts State Trooper Michael Proctor is expected back at State Police headquarters this morning to continue a disciplinary hearing that could lead to his termination.
Proctor was suspended in July for conduct revealed during the Karen Reed trial. This morning, we've been bringing you Ted Daniels' one-on-one interview with Karen Reed. She was more than willing to talk about Proctor and others.
What troubles me is how evil people are.
We covered a lot of ground with Karen Reed, including those who want her in prison. The Norfolk DA, state police working for the DA, and specifically Trooper Michael Proctor. The detective zeroed in on Reed within hours of John O'Keefe's death. Proctor has testified that's where the evidence, including Reed's cracked taillight, took him.
Yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though.
During Reed's first trial, Proctor's personal feelings for Reed were exposed in his personal text messages. What was it like to be there in court and listen?
Dude, I love the way he's wording this shit too, man. Like, he is fucking coming out swinging. Like, his personal feelings were exposed.
Listen to all those texts.
Proctor was just letting the public know what I've known about Michael Proctor, who he really is. Nothing Michael Proctor texted and admitted out loud in court about me would ever offend me.
Your figures of speech include the following.
Now, ain't that some shit? I want y'all to think about that for a second. Ain't that some shit? We're more pissed off about Michael Proctor's text messages than she is. That's in essence the aura that Karen Reed carries around with her that you get from meeting her in person. She's not concerned with shit like that. She's too preoccupied with getting shit done. She does not play victim. She's just fucking moving forward. That's what her family's doing. All of them. Kelly, Nathan, Bill, Janet, all of them. It's crazy. I mean, it's not so crazy, but it's like when you think about that, you know, like that right there, that is what her demeanor's like all of the time. She's not concerned with petty shit like that. And it's not so petty, but to her, she can't afford but to look at that as petty in comparison to the stuff that she has to focus on right now. You see what I'm saying? So like to us, like, I mean, we're more mad about that shit than she is because she can't really afford to be as mad about it as we do. We have that luxury of sitting around and looking at this dipshit, this literal dickhead, like that is a dick on his shoulders. That is a fucking flaccid stump sitting on his shoulders. And we don't, you know, we have the luxury of sitting around and hating this motherfucker like that, you know? You know, like Karen Reed doesn't have that luxury. She's got to focus on other shit.
She's a bitch.
Objection.
Is that right?
Yes.
You spent hours having him read those out loud. I'm sure that was done by design.
It was. Everything that we did in that cross-examination of Michael Proctor was done by design.
There was an effort to indict Reed on new witness intimidation charges last March. It failed. Reed says even people around her were under scrutiny.
Our drivers have been approached by the state police, had very close friends, had their cell phone records subpoenaed for an indictment that never happened.
Have you ever been followed?
I don't know. My eyes are akimbo all the time. I look at law enforcement differently, more warily.
How do you know you're being tracked?
I know from affidavits from the state police at the Norfolk DA's office. They knew what flight I was on. They knew when I landed. They knew when I came back. And it's disturbing. It's invasive, and it's desperate.
All All right, Ted Daniel joining us now for his fascinating interview. Ted, there, she just called the state police desperate. Others may use that word to apply to her, and seeing she didn't get an acquittal the first time around. But why do you think it is she agreed to do this interview?
She comes across as very smart and analytical, that every move that they're making, she's a part of, and it's calculated. I think she says to me she has nothing to hide and wants to get her message out. I would expect that, they went over the pros and the cons of this with a trial fast approaching. And in the end, they thought it was something that they wanted to do. It's not the first time that she's gone on in a segment like this. She did a couple national interviews. And I think.
Well, Ted, I'm going to have to interrupt you right there, Professor, because no, she's never done an interview like this. She's never done an interview like this where she wasn't being put into the light of being guilty. This did none of that. It didn't make her seem innocent either. It was just a straightforward fucking interview, but talking about the things that should be more talked about. It's not fair to, and I don't even like to use the word fair. It's just not, it's not responsible to form an opinion on Karen Read's guilt or innocence without knowing all of the details, without knowing about the ARCA experts, without knowing about the federal investigation. Because I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, everybody already knows about that. But no, not new viewers, not people who are just now starting to follow this. There's always new viewers. There's always new people that are going, wait a second, what? So, like you see, he's not sitting there fluffing Karen up. He straight up said, he was like, they're like, why do you think, first question, why do you think she agreed to do this interview with you? And he's like, because I think it's because she's very calculated. She's part of every single decision that takes place between her and her defense team. He's implying that she is trying to get the public to see her side of things, which is fine. It's absolutely fucking fine. Some people are like, why? Oh my God, she's accused of murder. Yeah, but she's not convicted. She is still innocent until proven guilty. Why shouldn't she have her voice heard and her side of things heard? Why shouldn't she?
I think that this was something that, I reached out to her team and heard back within a couple of days.
I actually have two questions for you. What is she like off camera too? Same way?
Yeah, pretty much the same. You get the feeling, she's always on the phone or she's always making plans. She's, when we met her, the day that we met her, she was going to meet with her lawyer, Alan Jackson, she said, because she had a private investigator hunting down a new lead, and they were going to analyze and go over what information that was provided to them. So, yeah, she's very cordial, very nice person, but when you look at all in this totality here, these are some really serious charges against her, and she's got a tough road.
Yeah.
So you reached out to the DA's office as well.
Yeah, we wanted to give equal time to the DA's side of this. So it's the new prosecutor. Adam Lally did the first trial, and now Hank Brennan was appointed a special prosecutor. He's long known defense lawyer. I used to speak
Whitey
to
Bulger case.
and I used to speak to Hank about other stories. So we made a request. We said, hey, we'd like to profile Hank and give him sort of an on-camera interview, and they declined that request. And I get it.
Now that's fascinating to me. Now Ted here, I'm sure, is about to give a whole, I totally get his side of things and blah blah blah, but fuck all that. Fuck all that. I don't have to operate under the same rules that Ted Daniel does, and I'll just go ahead and fucking say it. It speaks volumes that Hank Brennan will not do an interview. Why would a high-profile special prosecutor deny an interview to assure the public that he is going to seek swift justice when it comes to the murder of Boston police officer John O'Keefe? Why wouldn't, I mean, literally every fucking other prosecutor that I've ever seen working a high profile case will hold a press conference once in a while just to keep people updated on what's going on. They'll give an interview. Why is Hank Brennan hiding from the public as he covers this case? What does that say to you? Because I'll tell you what it says to me. It tells me that he is not confident in what he's doing. It tells me that he's not confident in what he's doing in the sense that A, he's not confident because he doesn't have a fucking case, and B, he doesn't feel morally confident in what he's doing. He knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows what he's doing is not in the interest of justice, and he has no way of explaining this away from a reporter who may corner him in a position to have to answer for this, excuse me. And Ted Daniel is coming off like that kind of reporter. But if you're seeking justice and everything you're doing is in the interest of justice, you would say, go ahead, man. Knock yourself out. Ask me whatever you want. I'll tell you, I mean, if it's an open investigation and there's still details that I can't share, then I'll tell you I can't share them. That's what they all do. Sorry, I'm not going to discuss that. Still an open investigation. I'm not going to discuss the details on that. How confident are you that you'll get a conviction? Oh, we feel very confident. Blah, 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 blah. That's what prosecutors always do, especially the high profile ones. Why won't this high profile prosecutor assure the public that he's doing everything in his power to get swift justice for a fallen police officer? Why won't he do that? Because he's a fucking mob goon. That's why. That's what mob goons do.
Get it. There are some stipulations that the DA and the prosecutor has to follow in terms of out-of-court discussion. I did say, hey, I realize in my email, I said, I realize there may be some things that have to be left off the table. We were fine with that with them, but unfortunately it didn't happen.
You had talked about this in the piece that Orlando.
Poor Ted, man. It must suck being a professional, dude. I love that I don't have to worry about that shit. It must suck. Being a professional must fucking suck. You gotta sit there and just bite your tongue. Like, you can't just outright be like, because he's a fucking goon, bro. Like, only a fucking goon is going to avoid talking to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he wants to say. That's what he wants to say. I mean, I don't know. I can't read Ted Daniel's mind, but I'm of the opinion that Ted Daniel is sitting there going, well, they declined because they know they're full of shit. They know I'm going to ask them some tough questions, and they're afraid of how fucking stupid he's going to look trying to avoid those questions, dancing around him.
Aired last night, and she has talked to, as you mentioned, to you and to other outlets. Mm-hmm. The question is, will she take the stand now in the second trial? And she mentioned, well, that'll be a game time decision. What's your gut telling you on that?
I think she probably won't. I mean, as rare as it is for her to do all these interviews with us. I think it's even would be even more rare for her to take the stand. But one of the things that the new special prosecutor is trying to do is take all the statements that she's made and find contradictions. Before this story even aired, we got a court order at this station saying the DA's office wants all the raw interview. They want everything and my notes. So the DA's office has been doing that to everyone that she's spoken with because they want to say, hey, there's this inconsistency there. Or she said this during this interview, she said something different during another interview.
See, I love that he's talking about that. I love that he's talking about that. Because I mean, anybody with common sense who's listening to Ted Daniel tell this factual story is going, they're totally trying to railroad her. It's a fishing expedition. They're sitting here and they're trying to find out, they're trying to impede on the privacy of the press, of a fucking of a reporter. Like, that's not evidence. What's Olivia saying here? Disagree. The public rightfully excoriated DA Michael Morrissey for his public hostage video as it was in violation of Rules 3.6. Right. It can taint the jury pool and is unethical. For sure. For sure. But, I mean, the thing is you're saying that you disagree because Michael Morrissey went and did that. But Michael Morrissey, the difference is the hostage video was just some predetermined thing, and he's stating things, the details in the case as fact when they're not fact. Totally different situation. Giving the press an update on where the prosecution or how the prosecution feels they are in their case, in their very public case, is standard. That happens all the time. I've never seen a case where the prosecutor doesn't talk to a reporter or give a press conference. I mean, I've never seen that. So, yeah, it's a very different situation than Michael Morrissey's hostage video.
So at this, I'm trying to do stand. But
I want to hear this one more time because I love this shit.
She probably won't. I mean, as rare as it is for her to do all these interviews with us, I think it's even would be even more rare for her to take the stand. But one of the things that the new special prosecutor is trying to do is take all the statements that she's made and find contradictions. Before this story even aired, we got a court order at this station saying the DA's office wants all the raw interview. They want everything. And
so you got to understand, like, he made it a very, very, like, prominent point there. He was like, before this even aired, before this interview even aired, okay, we got a court order at this station. So he's telling you everything. That means that they were aware that Karen Reed was giving an interview to Ted Daniel as it was happening. So as soon as it wrapped up, because remember, they had to file a court order for this. So they filed a court order, sent it to the station saying, we want all of the transcripts, we want all of the notes, everything for your interview with Karen Reed that hasn't even aired yet. Fascinating. You know how I know Ted Daniel's one of the good guys? Because he felt the need to tell this to the public. And this is what's mind-blowing to me is how all of these other so-called journalists, news reporters, commentators. Like, they're not infuriated about this. Like, that's your livelihood. How little do you care about the success of your reputation? How little do you care about how your reputation as a professional? How little do you care about that if you don't care about your sources getting outed, that they could just file a court order and demand your private notes between you and a source, and you just don't fucking care? Like, every reporter with the power of being a reporter should be blasting this the way Ted Daniels doing right here. They should absolutely be blasting this shit everywhere. We got a court order. They're demanding our private notes. This is how desperate they are.
My notes. So the DA's office has been doing that to everyone that
To
she's spoken
everyone.
with, because they want to say, hey, there's this inconsistency there, or she said this during this interview, said something different during another interview.
You can tell, you can hear the contempt in Ted's voice here.
Office has been doing that to everyone that she's spoken with.
The DA's office has been doing that to everyone. Like, he's clearly painting the picture that they are on some sort of fucking rampage. Like fucking Herod talking about fucking kill every firstborn child. Go door to door. Kill every firstborn child just to ensure that this Messiah doesn't come. That threatens me. That's basically what the DA is doing, more or less. Definitely less. But what I'm saying is that's definitely what they're doing. They're going around and they're trying to find every single little bit of Karen Reed words that they can twist and use against her in court. And they're trying to weaponize the press to do it by violating freedom of press. That's fucking crazy. And they're doing it door to door. Every single news reporter that's ever talked to Karen Reed.
With, because they want to say, hey, there's this inconsistency.
Yeah. Liz, thank you so much. Ted's awesome. Ted was holding back a wee bit, but he's now like big fuck you to Meatball. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Like, he's only doing right now, because I'm not trying to like praise him too much, because he's only doing what I would expect any fucking journalist who cares about what they do to be doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who is a professional journalist should be completely and totally should feel absolutely threatened by this. They should have felt threatened by this when they locked up Turtle Boy. When they charged him in the first place, they should have every journalist should have been like, dude, what in the fuck is going on here? But they were too busy going, oh, well, he's just a blogger. That's what happens when you're a blogger, when you try to play with the big dogs. That's the attitude that they all had at the time. But the bottom line is Turtle Boy is just as effective as any of those local news reporters in Boston, if not more effective, because he doesn't hold back. And he doesn't have anybody telling him what he can or cannot say. But he's got a huge audience in Boston. They don't like that. So they figured, ooh, okay. But what they should have been thinking is, fuck, that's not cool. That could be any one of us. Bottom line is, he still has freedom of the press.
See there, or she said this during this interview, she said something different during another interview. So it was surprising, though, that we got it 14 hours after the promo aired and the story hadn't even gone on TV yet.
Yeah.
Like, let's think about that for a second. Like, how strong is that case going to be? If the Commonwealth's case, if Brennan's case, if Spanky's case is to show what? That Karen Reed had a different story, that doesn't prove that she killed anybody. If I'm a juror, that's not going to convince me. I'm going to be like, dude, I need a lot more than that, bro. You're trying to tell me she's drunk, and then you're trying to, crucify this woman for having an inconsistent story of her recollection of that night. Pick one, bro. As a juror, I'm going to be like, nah, dude, like, come on, you got to do better than that. Come on. That she's okay. So she has a different story on stupid fucking dumb details. And that's even if that's the case. Liz, thank you so much. They are scared shit around here. My dad's 80. He believes everything they say. He hates 25. That's funny. Right. Great point, Olivia. That's true. Like, also, I mean, if you want to hang on, like those people who are crucifying Karen Reed in the court of public opinion, like, if that's what you're hanging on to, then you need to look at all of the fucking inconsistencies in Jen McCabe's testimony, Brian Higgins' testimony, Brian Albert's testimony, Colin Albert's testimony. I could go on and on. No, I'm not saying that Karen changed her story. I'm saying they're trying to find inconsistencies, and they're trying to find very stupid ones. Like, that's how desperate they are. If they're trying to comb through the notes of different reporters, that shows how desperate they are. But I'm saying, even if they achieve the goal of finding an inconsistency in her story, they're going to need a lot more than that to convince a fucking jury. That's my point. That's all they got. Wild, dude. Like, how long have I been live? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to make this too long of a stream. Now, there was a motion to compel production of a forensically sound copy of the January 29th, 2022 video, surveillance footage in law enforcement custody. Exactly, Liz. Great point. Thank you. You don't need a good memory when you tell the truth. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're absolutely right. So we're going to go over this motion that was filed today by the defense. Now comes the defendant, Karen Reed. Ms. Reed, and respectfully moves this honorable court pursuant to Brady versus Maryland. And so right here, Brady violation here, to compel the Commonwealth to produce the video surveillance footage from the Canton Police Department between January 29, 2022 at 12 a.m. and January 29, 2022 at 11:59 p.m. All metadata and logs associated with within in a forensically sound manner that this evidence can be turned over to the defense. Now, I'm not a lawyer, guys, but it seems to me what this is, motion to compel, means like, hey, we're fucking serious about this. We need this shit. And what they're doing is they know they're not going to produce that. This is going towards their motion to dismiss, if I had to guess. That's what this is going to be. So, if I had to guess, I'd say that this is what they're just putting this on record. How strongly they fought for and how many times they asked the Commonwealth to share the discovery that the defense is entitled to. Because they know they're not going to produce this. They know, because we all know, that if they were to produce this, it would be completely and totally exculpatory. It would show evidence of Karen Reed's frame up. It would absolutely do that. We know it would. Kat Randall gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for that. All right. Yeah, so yeah, this is wild, dude. Like yeah. So they're basically just saying like, okay, we're serious. We're asking again to compel for this court to compel the prosecution to produce this video to the defense. Give it up. We want it. We're not fucking around. On January 22nd, 2025, the Commonwealth disclosed for the first time that additional video surveillance footage taken from the Canton Police Department may be in the possession of law enforcement on a retired detective's work computer, unless the data issue is properly forensically imaged and preserved. The corresponding logs related to the video surveillance footage, which should contain the identity of the individuals who access the surveillance system, the date of download, and underlying metadata associated with the actual files, will be destroyed. The Commonwealth has indicated that it is objecting to properly forensically imaging the computer and/or department's video file system such that the defense can obtain a forensically sound copy of the requested information. The metadata underlying the video files at this issue is not only central to this case, but is also exculpatory. And if properly imaged, will potentially reveal significant exculpatory, relevant, and material information about the underlying data, namely dates of creation and information pertaining to whether any of these files were altered in any way. It is absolutely necessary that this information be obtained in a forensically sound manner. Unless the Commonwealth images the device at issue and obtains the critical evidence in a forensically sound way, the Commonwealth will deny Ms. Reed's access to exculpatory information, which underpins some of the most highly contested and important evidence in this case. The Commonwealth's proposed process will destroy critical evidence named relevant and exculpatory metadata underlining these video files in violation of Ms. Reed's constitutional right to effective assistance of counsel and to due process under the law, as guaranteed by Article 12 of Massachusetts Declaration of Rights in the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution. Article 12 of the Declaration of Rights of the Massachusetts Constitution, U.S. Constitution Amendment 5, U.S. Constitution Amendment 6, U.S. Constitution Amendment 14. Sorry, I had a little trouble there with the Roman numeral. Also, Commonwealth versus Mattis, blah, 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 blah. Defendants have unquestioned right under the Sixth Amendment and Article 12 of the Massachusetts Declaration of Rights to obtain relevant evidence that bears on the question of his guilt or innocence, or which otherwise helps his defense. And Rule 14 is intended to ensure the realization of that right. In addition to her constitutional rights, Ms. Reed also has a statutory right to obtain evidence in advance of trial and prepare her defense. That's very important. In addition to her constitutional rights, Ms. Reed also has a statutory right to obtain evidence in advance of trial and prepare her defense. This is evidence that was not disclosed, that was not shared with Karen Reed at the beginning of the first trial. New footage has come out. This is what happened. The defense filed motion after motion after motion. The first motion being on February 2nd, 2022, and brought up at Karen Reed's arraignment. Okay? That first motion. More motions were filed. I don't even know how many were filed in order to compel the court to share discovery. And then this trial takes place is the way that it did, the sham that it was. And we all know what happened with the jury and all that fucking bullshit. And now here we are again, about to start a second trial, and new footage that the defense has never seen, that Karen Reed, the defendant, has never seen, has surfaced of the Canton Police Department. So, this is a big deal. This is totally the essence of what is this, like the brightest example right now, the shiniest example as of right now of why Karen Reed's case should be dismissed once they file this motion to dismiss. Now, this subject came up at dinner with Karen Reed, with Alan Jackson, and so many people. It was really fun and it was really nice. And when I was explaining this to someone else, I even was kind of like, I was real ballsy. Someone asked a question where what I just explained would answer it, basically about the motion to dismiss. And I explained it the way that I just did. And I asked kind of Alan Jackson, like, may I? And he was like, please. And as soon as I explained it that way, Alan Jackson went, exactly. So that's it in a nutshell. Why is the defense now getting footage from that Sally Port on when Karen Reed's SUV was brought in there? Why is there new footage surfacing of this that was not shared with the defense prior to the first trial? So, and you saw Hank Brennan was trying to kind of distance himself from that shit, but sorry, dude, you're in this, bro. You're in this. This is not about courtesy. I tried to extend a courtesy. I tried to extend the courtesy to the defense. No, dude. There is no courtesy here. This is something that a motion to disclose all of this evidence was filed, even though it wasn't necessary to file it. Karen Reed was already entitled to this discovery prior to her first trial. Liz, thank you so much. Do you think the higher ups will get busted? Hopefully. I mean, I don't know, but I hope so. In addition to her constitutional rights, Ms. Reed also has a statutory right to obtain evidence in advance of trial and prepare her defense. Okay? Massachusetts rules of criminal procedure clearly state that the Commonwealth must provide certain mandatory discovery of evidence within the possession, custody, or control of the Commonwealth to the defense in order to meet its discovery burden. And yeah, I'm just going to skip all that. But I am going to go into that factual background in just a second. But I was going to say, sorry, I'm looking at the chat right now. Yeah. So now again, this, in my opinion, is a prelude to their motion to dismiss. Now, if you guys remember, now I'm not an attorney, but I heard an attorney explain this. And it's funny because Judge Beverly Cannoni gave a deadline for Alan Jackson and Karen Reed's defense team to put forth their motion to dismiss. Right? They said, well, okay, Mr. Jackson, you have until the 11th of February. Something interesting about that. Karen Reed has a constitutional right to file a motion to dismiss whenever the fuck she wants. Like, Judge Beverly Cannoni can't put a deadline on when they're going to put forth a motion to dismiss. Like, she can't, like, what is she going to say? If you don't put it by this time, I'm going to deny it? No, they got all the time in the fucking world. They got until closing arguments to file a motion to dismiss. Like, who the fuck? Like, that just gives you an idea of Beverly Cannoni and how powerful she thinks she is versus how powerful she is, because she does clearly think that she can put a limit on someone's constitutional rights. Like, there's no, I could file a fucking motion to dismiss whenever the fuck I feel like it. I don't need a deadline. If I don't meet your deadline, what are you going to do? Deny my motion because I didn't meet a deadline? The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Then she's going to deny it anyway. Right. We know she's going to fucking deny it. But I can tell you for a fact, and I mean for a fact, that Karen Reed is well within her rights to file that motion to dismiss whenever the fuck she wants. So the factual background here, Ms. Reed is accused of the following crimes out of the death of Officer John O'Keefe: murder in the second degree, violation of blah, 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 manslaughter while under the influence of alcohol, and leaving the scene of personal injury and death. In spite of the outstanding court order, the Commonwealth recently notified the defense that additional video surveillance footage from the Canton Police Department recorded on January 29, 2022, and the metadata associated with that footage may be in the constructive possession of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office through its agents at the Canton Police Department. So not only is that footage new, so there's the footage on January 29th where Higgins is on his phone, proof that he fucking lied in open court, that he perjured himself. So that footage is there. And then there's the footage of when the Sallyport, when Karen's SUV was brought to the Sally Port, and there's footage of Karen Reed's Sally Port, or of Karen Reed's SUV backing into the Sally Port, not going in forward, backing into the Sally Port. Fucking yikes. The Commonwealth's proposed protocol for obtaining this information will destroy relevant metadata associated with this critical evidence in violation of a court order. And if the metadata ain't there, man, then it ain't no good. Period. Procedural history relating to Canton PD video surveillance footage. A brief summary of the procedural history relating to the video surveillance footage at issue is set forth herein. The Commonwealth has provided the defense with CPD video footage on 3 occasions. On April 4th, 2024, shortly before the first trial in this matter, the Commonwealth produced footage from the CPD main driveway and CPD Sallyport front wall for the very first time. Sallyport front wall footage provided by the Commonwealth omitted a 42-minute interval during which the SUV arrived at the CPD Sallyport garage. Okay, this missing footage could have been used to show the condition of the SUV's right taillight upon arrival at the Sallyport, and to date would be the only footage that serves this purpose. Let's read the footnote here. Notably, when Mr. Erickson arrived at the CPD to extract the video from the DVR system, the security camera system was set to overwrite older. Okay, we already know all that. The condition of the right rear taillight of the Lexus SUV at the time it entered law enforcement custody is perhaps one of the most critical and highly contested issues in this case. Mid-trial on April 23rd, 2024, via a share link entitled Additional Sallyport Video Download Link, the Commonwealth produced additional footage from the CPD Sallyport back wall. At trial, Trooper Yuri Buchanan testified on direct examination that the footage of Miss Reed's vehicle from this interior Sallyport camera was an accurate depiction of the Sallyport and the SUV, and that, as seen in the video, no law enforcement officer approached the right rear taillight. But on cross-examination, however, it became apparent that the video surveillance footage displayed on direct examination was inverted and a mirror image of reality, despite neither the Commonwealth nor Trooper Buchanan having mentioned it in direct examination. Trial transcript, blah, 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 blah. Therefore, when the video appeared to show a person standing near the left rear taillight of the vehicle, in actuality, that person was in fact standing near the right rear taillight, which is the passenger side taillight, which is the taillight in question. It remains unclear why this inverted video was withheld by the Commonwealth and produced to the defense in the middle of trial after the initial CPD surveillance footage was turned over by the Commonwealth. Most recently, post-trial on October 10th, 2024, the Commonwealth again provided new video surveillance footage, this time from the CPD church side exterior, first floor corridor, rear lot main side, and rear lot cruiser side angles. This footage shows Brian Higgins arrive in the parking lot of the Canton Police Department at 1:26 a.m., enter the Canton Police Department, and is seen speaking on the phone to some unidentified individual on the phone as he is leaving the Canton Police Department at 1:34 a.m. Significantly, this material and relevant evidence, which establishes Brian Higgins was on the phone with some identified individual at 1:34 a.m. as he left the Canton Police Department shortly after John O'Keefe's death, was withheld from the defense at the first trial. The video surveillance footage the video surveillance footage at issue was a major point of contention at trial, in no small part because the Commonwealth was utterly unable to establish any chain of custody for the various clips of video produced to the defense from the CPD. The footage produced by the Commonwealth is rife with issues that call into question its accuracy and forensic viability, including the presence of the inverted video and the large-scale gap missing from the feed at the precise time at which Miss Reed's Lexus should have been shown entering the CPD Sallyport garage, in spite of the fact that the Commonwealth claims the video surveillance feed is motion activated. The fact that the Canton Police Department produced video surveillance with an inverted video and a gap in the footage at the critical moment, i.e. the precise time Miss Reed's SUV arrived at the CPD garage, is not trivial. It goes to the heart of Miss Reed's defense. So they're trying to say that the CPD cameras are motion activated, which would explain the gaps. Now, wouldn't the motion of a 6,000-pound SUV trigger the activation of those cameras recording? Maybe. I don't know. Wouldn't that be the entire fucking purpose of having cameras outside of the Sallyport? And if they're motion activated, wouldn't they be designed to be activated by a vehicle? Maybe. Since it is a garage? Maybe. I don't know. So that math ain't mathin'. Sorry. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that this shit's motion activated, but the 45 fucking minutes of Karen Reed's SUV arriving there to Sallyport is missing. Very convenient. Very convenient that it's just that missing. And it's very convenient that Jen McCabe's 2:27 a.m. Haas Long to Die in Cold search was the only one deleted out of over 4,500 of them. In preparation for trial, the defense requested access to the Canton Police Department CPD DVR system and drives that hold recordings from the CPD security camera system so the defense expert, Mr. Erickson, could obtain video files in their native file format with all available metadata. If the metadata is not there, it ain't real. From January 29th, 2022, between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m., along with any associated log files. The way CPD technicians extracted the video data from the DVR system is insufficient for forensic purposes and has resulted in the permanent loss of the original surveillance video data. The CPD DVR system, like most, stores videos in a proprietary format. CPD uses the DVR interface to pick and choose which videos to save, and then that data is converted by the system into a playable format. The resulting file is almost always of lesser quality than the original, and because it exists in a different format, the resulting file will not hash verify to the original. As such, forensic experts cannot properly test the authenticity and integrity of the video footage. In response to the defense's request, Special Assistant District Attorney Hank Brennan agreed to allow defense access to this critical information and make the arrangements necessary for Mr. Erickson to extract video from the DVR system. Accordingly, Mr. Erickson traveled from Phoenix, Arizona to Boston, Massachusetts on December 11th, 2024, and after making the arranged visit to the Canton Police Department, returned to Phoenix on December 12th, 2024. However, when he arrived, all relevant footage and corresponding logs had been erased from the DVR system. Oops. Shocker. Facts relating to attempts to meet and confer after Miss Reed expanded significant resources to send an expert to the Canton Police Department to image the DVR system on January 22nd, 2025. Defense counsel received a call, Special District Attorney Hank Brennan, indicating that he recently obtained information that a retired Canton PD officer had downloaded the surveillance footage at issue on his work computer and cloud-based account. He informed defense counsel that he was going to have his own expert download the surveillance footage, but would permit our expert to fly back to Canton to be present for the imaging. Wow. Before I continue reading that, I want to give a big shout out to Nurse Kim. She's not in the chat, I don't think, but I know that we talked about it before, but I want to give another shout out, say how awesome it was that Nurse Kim was able to raise that 12,000 that was wasted on Mr. Erickson's trip. So that was really awesome of Nurse Kim to be able to pull that off. So and I love how it was just a big fuck you to anybody who is hoping that Karen Reed will be drained. Like we're in this. You're not getting rid of us. And we're gonna keep raising money for Karen Reed, and that's just nothing you can fucking do about it. At the hearing on February 6, 2025, the court invited both parties to meet and confirm informally on the issue of the video download in order to obviate the need for further court intervention. The defense did this in good faith. On February 6, 2025, defense counsel met and conferred with the Commonwealth regarding obtaining the requested video surveillance footage and associated information from what has been varyingly referred to by the Commonwealth in separate discussions as a retired detective's work computer and the Canton Police Department's detective file. Following that meeting, Attorney McLaughlin sent an email stating that the Commonwealth will attempt to download any videos to the extent they exist, which are related to the client's vehicle at the Canton Police Department and presently stored on the department's video file system. The Commonwealth will video the process and produce documentation of the retrieval process and any responsive videos. And I love how Hank Brennan, Cat Randall gifted another membership. Thank you so much. And one of the funniest examples of Hank Brennan's methods, or one of Hank Brennan's examples of projecting, right, is he loves to be like, Your Honor, we extended the defense a courtesy. We extended a courtesy. I extended Mr. Jackson the courtesy of no, dude. Like, it's the defense that is now extending you the fucking courtesy of allowing the shit to be videotaped so that you don't waste another $12,000 fucking dollars of Karen Reed's money. Like, it was your obligation to produce this evidence before the first trial even started. It was your buddy, your cuck buddy that sits up front with his head down, fucking making Judge Bev smell his hair gel, that fucked all this up. So, like, no, the defense, the Commonwealth, what you did or didn't do before and during the last trial, none of that shit fucking matters. Nobody gives a fuck. I wasn't even here. That's his whole fucking, well, Your Honor, I wasn't even here. Mr. Lally did. Shut the fuck up. You're the face of this now. You're in this. You're responsible for every fucking thing that's happening right now. You took on this case. You had to know it was unwinnable. Like, and I extended the courtesy to Mr. Jackson, and shut the fuck up. No, bro. Like, Alan Jackson, Eliza Little, Karen Reed's team extended you the courtesy. Following the, okay, I already read that. Exhibit 2, Attorney Little responded requesting that the Commonwealth's expert conduct a full forensic image of the computer and or video file system at issue, such that our expert can obtain a copy of all available metadata relating to any of the videos at issue, including my log files associated with the videos and or deleted data that may be recovered from the computer. Special Assistant District Attorney Hank Brennan then responded indicating that the Commonwealth would not be obtaining a forensic copy of the information at issue. When Attorney Little requested that the Commonwealth ensure all metadata associated with the related files and any associated logs are copied onto a thumb drive, Attorney Brennan objected and indicated the defense would need to file a motion with the court. Wow. And on February 6th, Attorney Little responded saying, if the Commonwealth's objecting to properly forensically imaging the computer and or department's video file system such that we can obtain the information we have been requesting, namely all video footage from the Canton Police Department on January 29, 2022 from 12 a.m. until January 29, 2022 at 11:59 p.m. and all metadata and logs associated therein, then I will file a motion with the court tomorrow. This information needs to be obtained in a forensically sound way. That is all we're asking to have happen. Exactly. As of the filing of this motion, the defense has received no response from the Commonwealth. The defense does not want to expand additional resources to send an expert to obtain this information. Rather, it is simply requesting that the Commonwealth, which has retained not one, but 2 digital forensic experts, forensically image the device in question to ensure that the data is obtained in a forensically sound way. Absent this court's intervention, the Commonwealth will be permitted to destroy critical metadata underpinning one of the most seminal pieces of physical evidence in this case in violation of Brady. As such, the defense seeks immediate relief from this court. Yeah, that's crazy. So is this the motion that he compelled the court to file? Or compelled the defense to file? Pursuant to Brady, which mandates the prosecution turn over all exculpatory evidence, Commonwealth must comply with the aforementioned request to produce and preserve Canton Police Department's video surveillance footage from January 29, 2022. Prosecutor shall disclose information recovered by mandatory discovery, provided it is in the possession, custody, or control of the prosecutor, persons under the prosecutor's direction or control, which includes the Canton Police Department, by the way, or persons who have participated in investigating or evaluating the case and either regularly report to the prosecutor's office or have done so in the case, which again includes the Canton Police Department. And then to evidence in the possession of the police who participated in the investigation presentation of this case, again, which includes the Canton Police Department. In addition to her constitutional rights, Ms. Reed also has a statutory right to obtain evidence in advance of trial to prepare her defense. Now, this is just citing law and stuff we've already kind of read. This is stuff just going over the same stuff over and over again. So that's it. That's it for that. All right, give me just 1 second here, folks. Okay, folks. Thank you for waiting. Appreciate you. The phone lines are now open. So if anybody wants to call in, they can. So I'll take a few calls. Clever, eat your food, buddy. Eat your food. Come here. You say hi. Look, they got a little. They put a little Valentine's Day bandana on him. My baby boy. I missed you so much.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, well, it's crazy Brazilian lady.
Crazy Brazilian lady. What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Were you a little cold in Massachusetts?
Do what?
Were you a little cold in Massachusetts?
It was cold there. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. I'm having a huge problem with Hanky. I think he want to be the new DA.
You think he wants to be the new DA? Maybe.
Yep. That's why he's doing all this.
Maybe, but he's not doing a real good job, is he?
No.
Yeah, he's not doing he's definitely not doing a good job of winning over the public.
Nope. And have you came to across I think it was Thursday when we find out that they have all this new civilian video on the retired detective computer. Do you think that guy was trying to blackmail somebody?
I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Because why he was having that on his computer? That's so bizarre.
You talking about the retired police chief?
Yeah, no, not the retired police. The guy that has the new, they have a video of the Sally Port on his computer.
No.
Why are we finding out?
Yeah, you're going.
I'm going too over.
Way too over. I mean, he's only supposedly they claim that he has it because that was the process. That was their way of trying to explain how they preserve the evidence, because they can't sit here and be like, we don't give a shit about evidence, so we just let shit record over it. But they're trying to say that this retired guy who probably they're never going to find or he's going to go, oh, I don't have that stuff anymore. They're going to say, well, he had it last, but he retired. So the stuff on his computer is probably gone.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they're just trying to avoid. They're playing keep away. They're trying to fucking make excuses as to why they don't have the original footage. That's all it is. I don't think it has nothing to do with blackmail.
No, what it came in my head, he probably hates somebody on the Canton Police Department, and he was keeping that to like, oh, I didn't fuck this up, you guys did, and now I have everything. That's what it came in my head, because we can't trust anybody.
Yeah, but there's no real motive there. That's not. Yeah, it's just Canton Police just they seem to just collect really big paychecks and they don't do a whole lot of crime fighting. So yeah, that's kind of how it looks. I don't know about all that, but I think that they're just disorganized. They don't really give a shit about preserving evidence, and they kind of just do whatever the fuck they want. That's the issue here.
But can you imagine if everything is in that computer? Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah, but probably not.
That would be so good.
Probably not.
Freaking Proctor, we're gonna have to wait another month.
I mean, we're gonna have to wait as long as it takes, but you got to remember, he's got to wait too. He's suspended without pay. He's not sitting around getting a paycheck right now. He's suspended without pay right now. So the longer they got to sit there and make him jump through hoops, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Good.
I know. Fuck him. I bet this morning he tied his balloon up before he went to the court.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Call from
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
It's Liz. How are you, Will?
I'm great. Who's this?
It's Liz.
What's up, Liz?
888. I promised I wouldn't call tonight. People are going to be like, oh, what the frig?
No, we love when
But
you
I
call,
just
Liz.
want-
How are you?
Good. I wanted to ask one thing. Do you think they're prolonging the Proctor thing because they, like the feds have stuff to do and they don't want it? And now they need some time, basically. So they.
I mean, they could be
people to hire.
they could be stalling. I mean, that's a possibility. They could be stalling. But I can't put together exactly off the top of my head why they would be exactly and what that has anything to do with the feds.
Well, I just think it goes. I'm hoping it goes.
It makes
I'm
more
hoping
it
goes.
makes more sense to me that if their actions are being dictated by what they're afraid or what they expect the feds to do, then it would make
Right.
sense that they would expedite firing Michael Proctor, not putting it off. It would make sense that they would
Well-
expedite the process of firing him so that they could say, hey, Massachusetts State Police is going, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Somebody,
unless they're
this man does
using
not
him.
represent us as the Massachusetts State Police. What he does is not what we approve of. And so they would let him fall on his sword and try to distance themselves from him with and give enough time before the feds start handing out indictments. That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah,
So,
unless they're using
stalling
him.
the process as far as the feds go doesn't add up to me. No.
Right, I don't know, but they could be using him, and saying, you better, give us everything you have, or you're going down big and hard, and that didn't sound very good, but you know what I mean? Like, you're in big trouble, and listen to me, you're in big trouble. I sound like I'm talking to my kids, but I mean, there's got to be more people involved, and I just don't get this Brennan business because I think he did favors for Morrissey and didn't work as well as he could have for a few of his clients, so they got thrown in jail. And so if he was doing things and not working up to the standards he's supposed to by his, his ethical law, could he get disbarred?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it seems like he's doing something shady to be doing that for that kind of money. There's something going on there. 'Cause
I
he
mean,
doesn't need to-
if he's blatantly violated, the ethical standards of an attorney, then I'm sure that there is I mean, Mello's been reprimanded by the bar before. So
Right.
I'm sure if there's something that can be proven, he'll be reprimanded by the bar.
Right.
But
he
I don't know.
doesn't need a name. He doesn't need a name around Boston. You know the good lawyers around here, like Reddington. My son had Reddington. I know, around here, you know their names.
Yeah.
And like, what if he did something at one time, or what if he wants a name for himself throughout the country, saying, "Oh, I'm going to go against Jackson. It's going to be this big lawyer, going, and I'm going to try and win a case." But he's not dumb enough to think that he could win this case. So it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Something's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something's not right. But anyway,
I mean, none of it's right.
So,
None of it's right. It's
No,
all
none of
fucked
it's
up.
right.
Yeah, all of it's fucked up.
Absolutely. I'm going to get off the phone so people don't get mad at me, but
Oh,
I really think
They're not
there's
gonna get
something
mad at
bigger
you, Liz.
going on. There's something bigger going on. Yes, take this call. Thank you so much, Will.
Everyone agrees with you, Liz. Thanks for calling.
Call from
Deborah.
You're on, Deborah. How we doing?
Oh, hey. Oh, that's so weird. I can see you on the TV, and you said my name before I even said hello. It's like you're talking through the TV.
I am.
Hey, so what's up with the 3-part documentary that's going to start in March 5th?
Beats the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, they have a name for it, The Man in the Snow.
Okay.
And, the monthly meetings they have where they're Zooming everybody because they can't meet in person because they're afraid of, the townspeople. The town meeting they have, what's it
Oh,
called?
the select board meetings.
Yeah, the select board meeting. Well, last Tuesday, the people from Sandpiper Films were Zoomed in, as they wanted to ask permission to bring their drones in. And of course, Chris Albert said, no way. But it was 3-1. So they're bringing them in. They have to file a license because they can only, fly in so high. But all this is happening like this coming week.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Did you know any of that?
No, I didn't know that.
You guys didn't chat at dinner about that? Nothing came up?
No, I mean, there was so many people. Like I'm really happy with what I got to discuss with Alan Jackson.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would have liked to have spent more time talking to Karen too, but there were everybody wanted to talk to Karen. So, I just kind of sat at the table and spoke to who was speaking to me mostly.
Right.
And but yeah, I got to ask Alan Jackson a couple of questions that I really wanted the answers to. And he was really candid. I just can't. I don't feel real comfortable discussing stuff until this is all over. That yeah.
Right, of course. Well, I just thought it was interesting that they're starting this 3-part series and starting March 5th, and we have a trial, April 1st. So, Karen being interviewed Sunday night was like no big deal. They're going to do another 3-part series, a documentary on Karen Reed and the death of John O'Keefe in March. What's going to happen to the trial starting April 1st? So, it just informs that many more people out there as far as jurors go. And Auntie Bev, she's already said that the jury selection or jury process is going fantastic. So that's already started.
Yeah.
She said that in court.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be, the gloves are off for Team Reed. The gloves are off. Like, they're not fucking around. Like, now they know what they're up against. Now they know what they have to face. And it was like Karen was saying in that interview with Ted Daniels. She was like, I just can't wrap my head around the evil. And I think
exactly.
And I think that was the biggest Achilles heel that the defense had was, how do you not underestimate that level of evil?
Right.
So, because like, as it's happening to you, you're trying to deal with managing that and the shock of like, I can't believe that they're blatantly trying to pull this shit,
Right.
So that is going to cost some energy and some time, even just a little bit, but that time and that energy adds up as to things that they could be doing to fight up against it and be ready for it,
right.
So, but this time around, they know, like this time around, they're like, yeah, this is just straight fucking wrong.
They'll be more prepared for all the bullshit.
Right. I mean, at this point, like, you just cannot underestimate the depth that Hank Brennan would be willing to go, and Michael Morrissey would be willing to go to get this guilty conviction from Karen Reed.
Yeah. Just like Brennan when he was all over the dog lady, Marie Russell, just yelling at her saying, there were shards of glass. There were shards of glass on that T-shirt. There were shards of glass.
Right.
What in the hell are you even talking about?
Explain. And this is a big question that Turtle Boy brings up a lot too. Explain how they couldn't find the pieces of taillight, but they could find pieces of clear glass.
That didn't match the cocktail glass.
Right.
The glass didn't even match the glass on the fender.
This was absolutely a frame-up job from the beginning.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Well, I just wanted to chime in about the 3-part series starting in March, and that the drones are going to be flying around. And they told them to not go on private property, but they're going to go right to 34 Fairview.
Sure.
With those drones and fly them up and down that street.
Sure. Yeah, and the waterfall.
And the waterfall.
Yeah, and CF McCarthy's right. All that.
Yes, they are. They're going to be flying them all over. And then the last thing is, I just cannot even accept the fact that Paul O'Keefe sits there and Mrs. O'Keefe sits there in that courtroom, and they don't listen to a word. They just stare at the ground or stare in their lap, stare at their hands.
Yeah.
And they don't hear what these people are saying. Jim McCabe, Alan, or Brian Albert. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know. And retired sergeant in the police force, you can't get an answer from him. And Paul O'Keefe can't see through any of this. It's just mind-boggling. And all these other things, Karen Reed's, everything she's done on TV, nothing gets through to the thick heads that Jim McCabe just brainwashed them into thinking Karen ran him over. I can't fathom that they sit there in the courtroom and nothing soaks into their brain.
I would just love to see the day where the O'Keefe family just finally says, fuck it, and goes, yeah,
exactly.
We thought that maybe, just fucking eats it and just goes, listen, we thought that she was guilty, but the more and more stuff that comes out, we think that it's just taking away more time from getting real justice for her.
Right.
John.
I've been praying every day that the FBI arrests Jim McCabe, and it just isn't happening yet.
Right. I just don't think that's going to happen because of whatever connection Paul and whoever else has with the McAlberts. I don't think that's going to happen. But it'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guy. Well, you take good care.
You too.
And have a good week.
Thank you, Deborah, for calling. I appreciate you.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. How dare you?
Alabama Worley. No Paul stares at Karen. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hayden Kane.
Who's this?
Hayden Kane.
Hayden Kane? I don't know what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Hayden Kane on YouTube.
Oh, Hayden Kane. Okay. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Not much. I just hopped on. I wanted to call forever. Just what the woman who was just talking, you were just talking with before about how the O'Keefes cannot even, how could they just not look there or see? And as somebody who lost a family member in 1990 from a accidental gunshot, my family spent years listening to the police and this and that. And it's just, unless you're in it and it's actually your family member.
Yeah, it's just going to be too hard to believe that it's even happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and in 1990, my older brother was killed from an accidental gunshot, and for a year before that, we had dozens and dozens of calls to the police department complaining about people threatening us, answering machines messages, halfway wannabe mafia people, that were all in cahoots. And I mean, it's similar, not exactly the same, but
No, I
man,
get you.
until you're actually in it as the family, and then you then have time to process it afterwards. Man, it's just I just, no matter what, I do feel bad for the O'Keefe family, even if they do seem misguided or uninformed or misinformed.
I just feel like there's got to be something else to it, though. Like, it's just too obvious what's going on here at this point. And so I don't.
Absolutely, my man. I mean, that's why it seems so easy from our side of it, because we have all this.
How could they be so duped at this point? You know what I mean? Like, how could they still be duped? It doesn't add up that they're duped anymore. I don't buy that they're duped anymore. You know?
Well, they're just, I think that it may be more wishful thinking and scared of being wrong, or, you know, but, and they're just being told. They're being told by the powers that be that are running everything that no, these people are wrong, we're right, and they're just wishful thinking.
Yeah, like I think there's an unhealthy relationship with at least the McCabe's.
I mean, there's an unhealthy relationship all the way around. I mean, how about this? What, Hank Brennan's buddies with Mama Llama, who's buddies with Jen McCabe? How does a key witness in this case is good friends with the now special appointed prosecutor?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! It's like, hey, hold on, Michael Proctor,
an asshole troll. Like, that's all Mama Llama is an asshole.
Oh my God,
troll on
terrible.
Twitter. There's not even not one redeeming quality about this person. This person doesn't post anything fucking worth reading that's worth a shit. And she's a fucking asshole. And she's buddies with fucking Hank Brennan. Come on. You know?
As if like, Michael Proctor and the McCabe's and all that are being buddies, and isn't enough, and the gift, it's like, here, hold my beer. Now we got the lawyer who we've specifically brought in just for this, is good friends with you. How is that not like, holy fuck?
I mean, because that stuff is only, the only people who are made aware of that stuff are the people who care to be aware of it, which are people who follow this case really closely and follow the Twitter trolls, follow everything. That's not stuff that the news is going to pick up. That's stuff that a documentary would pick up if they were so inclined. And I wouldn't even count on that. You know what I mean?
Like the salty stenos and the Tuesday Gazettes on Twitter. It's just like, oh my God, you people! It's like, I just wish you would get into a huge bus accident with Bodie there, and who's the other fucking douchebag? It's just like, come on, you guys aren't even. You're trying so hard to be so clever.
I lost nothing except the means to directly communicate with certain people in this community and $50 a month by losing my Twitter. Other than that, I'm glad that I'm not even on it. No fuck about it. Like, it's trash. Everybody on there that is just like, anybody who, like, nobody provides a sound debate, or even a sound platform for a debate. And I don't have patience for it. Even if someone's being polite, but they say something stupid, I don't have the filter to stop myself from calling them a fucking idiot. I have to. Even if they're being polite, I have to be like, you're fucking retarded.
Politely, you're a fucking retard.
Do it politely. I think they're insulting me with their ignorance. I think that they're deliberately, I take it personally. I feel like they're deliberately insulting me with their ignorance. And I call them a fucking retard.
If I were, where you're at in this point, I would feel the same exact way, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Seriously.
Oh, God bless you, man. God
I don't
bless
know how else to put it. Like, fuck those people on Twitter. Seriously.
All right. What? Real quick. I don't know if you've already discussed it, but what about this whole like McCabe lie detector thing? It's like, Jesus Christ. Like,
what? I missed that one. What about?
Because Mama Llama's like bragging about how Jen McCabe's stories never changed after 2 grand juries. This and that, and a lie detector that she took. So like now everyone's like, oh, she took a lie detector. It's like, yeah, okay, because we all know lie detectors aren't worth a shit in court anyway.
Well, when did she take a lie detector? Who conducted this lie detector?
Nobody can provide that.
Who subjected her to this lie detector test? I'd love to know.
Yeah.
Where did this lie detector test come from?
We all
want to know. Where
know.
did the resources for this lie detector come from? Like, did somebody just have a fucking polygraph in their fucking attic? Like fucking
yeah, it's like some freaking
like De Niro and Meet the Parents. Like
right.
Just have one there. What lie detector?
Or like some Scientology guy with those fucking things that they do, like.
Right.
But that was just like today or between yesterday and today that came out that Mama was saying how Jen McCabe passed the lie detector test.
Bullshit.
It's like, get the fuck out of here. That's like the
no,
least
and that just tells me how fucking desperate they are. Like that is a fucking lie. I'm calling bullshit on it. Jen McCabe did not take a polygraph test. And why the fuck would she? Why the fuck would she subject herself to a polygraph test? First of all, when she fucking filed a motion to not even have to testify at the last trial, still had to, but she filed a motion to not have to. So why the fuck would she willingly subject herself to a polygraph? Why didn't that come up in trial? Now, I understand that a polygraph is not actual evidence. Like, they use it and then they say, we know that it doesn't actually prove anything, but it helps sway a jury. You know what I mean? If she had taken a polygraph test and they're trying to convince this jury that the 2:27 a.m. search didn't happen and Karen Reed is just trying to come up with a scapegoat and Jen McCabe is a scapegoat, then why wouldn't Lally be like, what if any methods did you subject yourself to in order to prove that you were being truthful? Oh, I took a lie detector test. That would have absolutely came up in direct examination. It would have absolutely came up. Because they're trying to convince the jury that she's credible.
I would have loved to, hear her Jackson, object because, lie detectors aren't but it would definitely have brought up this conversation a long time ago, not fucking today.
Right. Yeah. All of a sudden now, Jen McCabe took a lie detector test. Really? Mm-hmm.
Right. Sure. And it's sound.
The fuck
it's
out of
sound.
here.
It's bulletproof.
The fuck out of here.
It's beef bullying, college fucking addict tales, bullying, fucking smelling proof. So, all right, I'm going to let you get on to other people real quick before you go. Favorite Kaya song?
Favorite Kaya song? Oh, man.
Demon Cleaner?
Maybe Thumb.
Okay. Good choice. Good choice.
But, yeah, I mean, and a lot of tracks I don't even know the titles to because I just play them.
Number 3. I mean? Well, it used to be when it was CD number 3,
right.
number 2.
Now I'm just like Caius, play, then work out. You know what I mean? And then I don't even know where one fucking track starts and another one begins. Like,
or where one album starts and one album begins. Next thing you know, you're listening to Queens of Stone Age. You're like, fuck, I like this too.
That's what ends up happening. Like, then I go down a rabbit hole and then fucking Electric Wizard's playing or some shit. And I'm like, fuck yeah. All
right. Well, right on, Will. I'm a dude out of Western Mass. So I'm too far out of the Boston neighborhood to fucking make my way out there. But thanks for coming out and thanks for being fucking you, man.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
All right, Hayden. Be good, buddy.
Bye.
All right.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, it's Ellis. How are you, Clara?
I'm doing well, Ellis. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm just listening to your YouTube show here, and I'm thinking about the first trial and how we're all focused on the phone calls and things that are going on. But I really feel like people need to focus on her blood alcohol level and the extrapolation that went down. Somehow they have to prove or let the jury know this is no good. Because all the things that we're focused on, it seems like the jury didn't even care about it the first trial.
Yeah, Alan Jackson's already doing that. That's why he keeps stating, the Commonwealth continues their look here but don't look over here method. That's the pillar of their entire defense, is showing that the Commonwealth is trying to deceive the jury. They're showing that and they can't outright accuse them of it. That's the tricky part. That's the tricky part. It was like, I've told this story 100 times, but when I was at the first trial, I was in the courtroom when Bukkake was being cross-examined, and then they dropped that bombshell of the video being inverted, the Sallyport video being inverted. And as soon as that was over, Yannetti was so excited, he came up to me and Brian LTL and was like, this is great. He's like, now the jury knows that it is the Commonwealth trying to deceive them and not us. Those were his exact words.
And then it's like they didn't know.
But the thing is they didn't actually say this. They have to word it. They can't attack. That's just bad form. You can't like attack the Commonwealth and accuse them of corruption, accuse them of being dirty. You have to like state the facts and then make the jury go, what do you think? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the blood extrapolation, like, they need to somehow, like, it's no good. Even Good Sam, they were owned by Stewart Healthcare and they were bankrupt basically at the time. They should be looking at like all the instruments there. Were they up to date? Like they, somehow like get that thrown out, because I feel like this jury, or maybe the future jury too, like can't get over that. It's not just it's not a DUI case. Like she's being charged with manslaughter, and that needs to be, she didn't do it. There's so much evidence, so much.
Yeah.
They just did such a bad investigation. Like there's so much doubt.
Yeah, like she'll get, like, at best she'll get a fucking guilty charge on driving under the influence, operating a vehicle under the influence, but like at best, like, and they'll go for that. They'll try to get that. That's what's fucking funny. They won't get anything else, but they'll try to get that at the end of the day. That's my prediction. Is they're gonna take that as like a guilty win. If the jury decides, yeah, she was driving drunk, so let's convict her of drunk driving.
Now I work in trauma, so I want you to, for the past 3 years, every pedestrian truck that has come in to the ED, they have had a lower body injury.
I hold on,
like,
sorry. I agree, Scott
Sorry,
McGinnis. I'm just saying that's what they're gonna get so desperate that's what they're gonna go for at the end when they have nothing else. That's my prediction. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just saying every trauma case that has come into the ED where I work, there has not been one case over the past like 3 years that has had an injury that would even like match up to John O'Keefe. Like it's either one or the other. Like every pedestrian truck has some type of lower body injury, and he didn't. And it just, like, to me, where we are in the ED, like we all just say like it doesn't match up. Like it doesn't fit. So we all, like a lot of us, I wouldn't say all of us because I can't speak for everybody I work with, but the docs and I, like, first of all, Dr. Marie Russell, she's a national treasure to us, and we're all upset about how she got treated. But we all think that by the injuries, there's so much doubt that she's being framed and did not hit John O'Keefe.
Right. And that's I think should be like the basis of the defense's strategy, in my opinion, would be to focus on that reasonable doubt, to have that reasonable doubt as a safety net, but still, don't let the McAlberts off the hook, but have that reasonable doubt as a safety net, and really, like, make sure the jury understands it just doesn't add up. Like, it doesn't make sense that Karen Reed hit.
No, the response in the household. You don't come outside. Come on. If there was all that activity on your front lawn, you come outside. You see what's going on. Any police officer would come outside to see what's going on this front lawn. His response is just not normal. Something totally was up in that house.
Thank you, Britt Happens. I appreciate it. Sick of these used car salesmen approach prosecutors. All they care about is for the records, not finding the truth. Agreed. True. And guys, subscribe to Britt Happens. Britt Happens has a channel, and it's good. Check it out. Yeah, no, I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Like, you have a good night.
You too. Thank you for calling.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Operating under the influence and driving under the influence. It depends on the state and what they call it. Botched investigation. It just depends on the state and how they refer to it. I've heard it DUI, DWI, OUI.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
California.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Very, very barely.
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, is that better?
Much better.
Okay, hi.
Is your name Anne Frank? Are you hiding under somebody's floorboards? What's going on there?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, hi, I'm Tara. I'm from California.
Hi, Tara.
And hi. And I just wanted to kind of not come at this from a different angle, and sorry, it's kind of going to be like a little bit of a story. But I first learned, I'm in California, I think I said that, but I first learned about this case, I think it was in 2022. And I used to listen to Nick Rekieta all the time, not anymore. And Turtle Boy, he had Turtle Boy on. And I was just listening to it, whatever. And I was just, listening to all the things he was saying about the corruption. And at the same time, I was going, the beginning stages of going through a divorce. And, my kids were older at the time. I thought, oh, you know what, I have all that. Not that I thought, it sucks, just go. But I'll say this, I had heard about like the corruption in the family law system for so long. And I always thought, yeah, no, you hear about it, but you don't think it exists. But it's a whole different ballgame when it happens to you. You know what I mean? And I think the same thing, like I would hear about it, like, oh yeah, it's corrupt. And then, but it almost seemed like unfathomable. And then, like I said, and then I started going through it, and kind of the same thing happened to me. So if you could imagine Karen's case, and obviously I know it's a bigger deal of murder, but if you could imagine that and then like transition that into family law, it's like I've experienced these same types of things, like with the evidence and whatnot. And you're just sitting there going, what? Like, why are you ignoring this?
I think that's the most frustrating thing too, is just to like sit there in court and listen to somebody fucking lie and not be like, dude, you're a fucking liar.
Okay, so that's actually kind of it's funny because I've literally been thinking about starting a YouTube channel myself just to share my story. And I think there's a lot of other people. And I think onto the whole corruption thing.
Yeah, don't do that.
And I understand it sounds,
don't do that because nobody gives a fuck. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, it's kind of true. No, but I mean, it's interesting because like I said, when I started getting into this case, like I said, I was listening and I was like, what? And I think we're just so conditioned almost to think, oh yeah, there's no way people could, conspire. And I also think most people like believe in the police, you know what I mean? And it kind of the same thing until something goes south for you or someone personally, you think it's unfathomable, you know what I mean? And I think that's, again, so when people hear the story, they're like, yeah, right. And I will tell you, and I literally want to shout it from the rooftop. So again, I know it's different. Her life is on the line, but with what I've gone through, I felt like my life was on the line as well. Different setting. But anyways, my point is that people have I went through 3 separate trials and people have no freaking idea how hard it is, exactly what you just said, sitting there silent while your life is being discussed. And those aren't the true facts of your life or what happened. And you just have to sit there. You just have to sit there and you can't say a word. Obviously, you have to trust your legal team. I had to represent myself one of the times. And you know what I mean? If you don't have that trust, and thank God she does, but they have to obviously represent you. And again, it's just, so if you could imagine again, like the dirtiness of the attorneys, that is my ex's attorney. I mean, this person is out to get me. It's like, it became like very personal, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, what is wrong with you, the attorney? And, like I said, it is so hard to sit there, like I said, and just listen to these lies. And, you know, I mean, the judge I had, she bought most of it, and it ripped me up inside. I mean, it tore me up. My kids were older at the time. It was devastating. I'm still dealing with it. But again, my point is it's like, you know, people always talk shit and say, oh, the faces that she makes, Karen, or she just sits there and, you know, she doesn't, you know, show any emotion. You're not supposed to.
Well, she
The
does.
attorneys instruct you not to.
She does show emotion. I mean, but
Well,
she shows like her disdain for the
but
people
more so
lying and
now,
trying
though.
trying to ruin her life.
Exactly. No, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, and so my ex is a fire captain, and you know, in the same county where and I just think a lot of the times, like first responders, not all, but a lot, they get a pass almost, an automatic. I mean, I'm telling you, if you've personally gone through it, you would have a whole, not, you know, I'm just saying this in general, you would have such a different outlook of this. And it's so frustrating for me, like I said, just to see the Twitter.
Yeah, what she doesn't, people don't understand. Like this is her whole life. Literally everything, everything that she's
and she's
doing,
lost everything.
Constantly, like she's on the phone. Constantly. Guaranteed.
You don't, and like I said, I don't want to compare.
Right. When I was fighting for custody of my kid,
Yeah.
I was constantly on my phone. Constantly. I was on
Constantly.
the phone with cops. I was on the phone with my
Oh, yeah.
lawyers. I was on the phone with, I mean, constantly on the phone.
Oh, yeah. And one of the times when my ex, the only time that it's such a long story, like I said, that he called the cops to try to make like a fake report, like like a keep the peace, like a whole custody thing. And then if the other parent doesn't, give the kid up or whatever, then they, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When he called, when I got my hands on the report that he made, he gave them his first name. So he gave him his name, first, last name, and then it was hyphenated. And then it said the department he works for, fire captain. So when he called, he told them, I'm so-and-so, I'm a fire captain with, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's almost like they get carte blanche. And again, so I just don't think people, and again, I'm not speaking for all first responders, but, again, coming from someone who has dealt with the corruption and the, you know what I mean? And like I said, you can't live a normal life. You just can't, not that she would, but like I said, my gripe more than anything is just all the people that talk so much shit and, slam her and just say, oh, you're, or like I said, I mean, you're right. She shows emotion, but I'm talking more like a lot of times, during the trial, she was, stoic and whatnot, but that's what she's supposed to do.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
you hear Clever?
I can hear Clever.
He's howling in his sleep.
Oh, no, it's funny. I listen to you talk. I'm like the female version of you. I'm all tatted up and my dogs are my life. And yeah, but, anyways, that's, like I said, I have so many opinions about this, but again, it drives me insane because people are so gosh dang opinionated. And again, it's like, but have you ever been on trial? Do you know what it feels? And thank God a lot of people haven't, but I'm just one of those people, like, don't judge and don't say a gosh dang word unless you have been through it.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Yeah. So anyways, I adore your channel and that's about it.
Right on. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
If another call comes in right now, I will take it. I'm going to get rid of the number though. But the line is still open. Yeah, Clever does that. He just howls in his sleep. I love it. It's the cutest thing in the world.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hello, William from Texas or Tennessee.
Yeah, that's me. Who is this?
My name is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy.
I can't even believe that we are live. This is awesome. My fiance Ken and I watch you every day if you're on, and we stay up late with you and roll with the times, and just want to tell you that you do make a huge difference, and we completely just appreciate everything you do. It's amazing. You're a fun guy, a lot like ourselves. Ken, what do you want to say to Will? Ken, my fiance won't even come near me, but I just think you're awesome.
Well, cool. I think you guys are awesome too. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.
So you're in Boston, or at least in the neighborhood.
Nope. I'm back home.
Are you back home?
Mhm.
Well, I hope that you had a great time while you're here, and I know that everybody loves you. I mean,
Well, not
they're
everybody,
like,
but
no, they're making you out to be like everybody. You're like meat, Will. So, but anyways, that's all I have to say.
all
That
right.
we love you. We think you're great, and I'm glad that your travels were safe. And keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right.
You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
And I do have a family member.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. No, my fiance's going to kill me. But you know that you have like a complete list. You're on 1 million dating sites in Massachusetts now.
Okay.
So if you get enormous amounts of calls coming in and they're all crazy drunk chicks, just know that you just aren't going to go without a date.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much
So-
for calling. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right.
Hey,
Have a good
take
one.
care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah. You guys are great. I just over the weekend, I've got a significant amount of new subscribers, and I'm really grateful for that. So I hope that everybody who is now subscribed to the channel and wasn't before, you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you continue to enjoy it. And I don't know, you guys know how I do, so I don't know. I'll hopefully maybe I'll do a live stream sometime tomorrow, either before Aiden's stream at some point, or I'll do a late night one afterwards. Who knows? We'll see. Or I'll just not stream at all. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I am really glad to be home and cuddle with my little dudes, Drago and Clubber. Man, geez, was I happy to see them. Yeah, dude. And they gave my man a bath, and his coat's all shiny and soft, and it's a good boy. It's a good boy. So yeah, please make sure to hit the like if you haven't already. It really means the world to me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me again. Thank you guys for all the support. As a matter of fact, give me 1 second here. I have a couple of Venmos. I'm trying to get in the habit of reading off the Venmos. I'm really bad about that. Terry sent me one that says support. Thank you so much. And another one says, I keep forgetting you have Venmo. That's from Elizabeth. Rather you get it than YouTube. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't mind the super chats. I definitely prefer the Venmos and the Cash Apps and whatnot for sure. Because I get that immediately and I get all of it. But I don't mind, again, you got to pay the house. I don't mind YouTube taking their insane chunk of the super chats, because they do provide me with this platform to be able to reach you guys and hang out with you guys. So I don't mind, but yeah, it's definitely more convenient for me to receive the Venmos and the Cash Apps and the PayPals. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah, I don't know when I'll go live again, but I will do so as soon as I get the hankering to. You guys are absolutely great. Thanks for hanging out. I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.